So yeah, anyone who is interested in seeing the last sessions, they are now up on our YouTube. I actually got to put the link to our YouTube on the
And our tube, yes.
our tube.
Yartube.
We have the link on our Discord somewhere, right?
Yeah, should. I mean, don't you have it in socials?
No, because I keep forgetting to do that. It's like the one thing I keep forgetting to do. I gotta do that.
What is your bot command, damn it?
For what? YouTube? I don't have one for YouTube.
Oh,
Got one for Discord.
Loop it into socials altogether.
Okay. Well, I'll have to sort it. Anyway, I posted it in the announcements in the Discord, so they're all the previous two are there. So that should be fine. Other than that, the general rules for this D&D session is that yep, that's the announcement. Thanks, GD. Perfect. The rules for these D&D sessions are basically you as the viewers can give the players some rerolls to use during the session to help them out with some stuff. I realize this chat is not doing its thing it's supposed to be doing. I can't win. So the rerolls will allow players to reroll any D20 dice, but only the players can roll them, and the players choose whether to roll them or not. There's two different ones you can get. There's one for straight, roll it right now, if they choose to roll it right now, which is a bit cheaper than the one that they can just like bank for the whole session. If you redeem the wrong one, tough luck. As well as that, we have weekly event things that work on. We're going to change it this week a little bit. But we'll explain that by the end of the session. The previous weekly events were for Lawrence, played by Billsalive, had been wanting to request fortifications around the Thorpe of Haven. So walls and watchtowers and stuff like that. Silvertwix had wanted to help set up a Thorpe watch, kind of like a town watch, for help in like policing the area and making sure people are safe. And then Isabel playing Niserie, Silvertwix is playing Vera, and Isabel playing Niserie wanted to get trade routes set up. So yes, exactly, trade routes. Glad it cuts you out every time you scream too hard. It's your audio, you know that, right? It's not our audio.
It's your audio. I'll fix it, don't worry.
Please don't. We value our hearing. Anyway, out of all of the different ones, only the trade routes so far have been unlocked. They got the 20,000 channel points, and this week coming, what we're going to do instead is have two options available, and we're going to have those two options on every channel. So that way, then, whether you're on my channel or Bill's channel or Isabel's channel, you can vote for the same one. However, we'll probably up it from 20,000 to something a bit higher, like 30.
No.
Well, yeah, because it's split across 3 channels, right? So
okay.
Also, it will cumulatively, it'll just keep getting bigger anyway. Slowly, but I think we're up to start a little bit higher. By the end of the session, you guys get to pick. So you three get to pick what the next progression thing is, and so if you have any ideas, think about that. We can continue with either fortifications or the Thorpe Watch. So if you have other ideas especially based on what's going on in the session, we can pick those. So we just need 2 for the end. All right. So last time on Almost Stormy, you guys decided to head off into the high forest to bring back what was stolen from Haven. And that what was stolen was a bunch of cattle and some flying cat creature and some food and a little boy. You have managed to rescue them. You find out there Centaur tribe, and some ogres and hill giants. You guys want to tell me any of the highlights of what you remember?
So we accidentally
Centaur
told the
died?
centaurs that it was just bandits. They rushed off
That's
into
the
their
highlight?
doom.
Good times.
And so we blame Lawrence for this, of course, naturally. He was not very helpful in that regard. However, when we did come across the giants and the orcs, we had an epic battle, and then Lawrence redeemed himself with his dodge actions.
Man, that was some good tanking. That's the way you're supposed to tank. Just stand
Exactly.
and dodge. Success.
I did that.
And it worked well.
Oh,
the one
and
turn I
then
did
we
not
also
dodge, I
met a
almost died.
flying cat called Bonnie and rescued the child.
You did.
That was definitely the best
Oh,
part.
wait, my
The
audio's
cat.
not working. Give me a second.
Yes, the cat Bonnie. The Tressum.
Okay, now I can hear you. Yes. The Tressum cat called Bonnie saved the child, returned him to the Thorpe. And now we're back at the Thorpe, essentially.
Yes, you are. You managed to come back here. I think, Fuzzy, has anything actually happened since you arrived back? Really? Apart from, getting across the river, Tobias, the ogre, brought you over. You kind of gave them a download of what happened. Has anything else happened yet? I don't think so.
I think we stopped after he carried the cattle back across the river.
We all went to different people's homes for the night.
That's
Yeah.
Oh
correct.
yes, that's right.
Yes. So, I believe we're starting on the next day here. You have a long... No, we said you weren't going to have a long rest in case things happened, or you wanted to do things overnight. So, we're late into the first night that you've been here. Isabel, have you fixed your spells this time? Did you add in all the
Hopefully.
correct stuff?
I hope so.
I
Fingers
still
crossed.
haven't looked at it. How many spells you got? Oh, I think we did discuss this. You had it
Talk
all.
about it,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll assume you're all fixed up and it's all good. Okay. So, what's going to happen here? This is as a brief kind of thing on what's going to happen to start with. Is that you're going to have a few days here in Haven to do things. That's not to say we have to spend a whole bunch of time and actually have that, but there are funeral arrangements to be made. The town are trying to just get behind things, and if you're willing to stay around and just help people through stuff for a couple of days, then you can hang around Haven before choosing to do what are and making the choices of what to do here. You can get to know any of the people here more, and stuff like that as well.
I mean, do we have that long rest?
So
I mean, if we're
the
still
only reason I haven't given you the long rest so far is that if you want to do anything during this first night before actually resting.
Oh no, Niserie is very exhausted. She would like to go to bed.
Sorry, really doesn't want to do anything without the long rest. Mm-hmm.
She's like,
We'll wait Vera or Lawrence.
No, I don't think so. I think it's been a long day, right? It's been a long day.
You started the day actually just walking to Haven to begin with, and then it turned into, the day that you had.
Yeah, so I think Lawrence would also just want to, get some rest before deciding what to do next.
No problem. So, you guys bed down for the evening. Night out here, a little bit different than night in the city. It's quieter in a way, and yet in other ways, a little bit loud. But you've been on the road for long enough, and Vera especially doesn't have a problem with this. But for you, more city folk, Niserie and Lawrence, it's strange, kind of like being out in the countryside. There's like almost a deafening quiet at times, and then sudden loudness of animals. Like you'll begin to hear like little cricket creatures and stuff at midnight. You'll hear the occasional owl hooting, stuff that you don't normally really get to experience when you're in the city. Vera, you're well accustomed to this stuff. For you, I don't know what your kind of living arrangements were back home. Whether you've been in like housing or is it small kind of shelters, or like what way did you kind of grow up in your living kind of conditions in the forest?
Probably like little gnome huts, like in big tree trunks and little underground burrows. I think gnomes like to live underground,
Okay.
like rabbits.
Very very much like rabbits, yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit different for you here, but it's not completely foreign or anything like that. Just trying to figure out here if Bill, move for me a second. Oh, perfect. And yeah, I've got windows sitting in front of each other, and I just want to make sure the video is working. So because I'm not
I
looking.
tend to stay still.
And you may move very slightly anyway. Yeah, it's like if you sit still enough, no one can see you. So, yeah, you guys get your long rest. You can use all your stuff for that. Niserie, your level of exhaustion will disappear at the end of that.
Excellent.
Lawrence, I don't think you've played as a heavy armor character before. Just so you're aware that you do not gain back any levels of exhaustion unless you're not wearing your heavy armor.
Wait.
You
No
can't
one sleeps with heavy armor, right?
That's what I'm saying. You can't sleep. So the thing is, like, especially on the road, you will have more of a choice to sleep in your heavy armor, right? But you won't be able to gain back exhaustion. There's some rules for it, which is in Tasha's. So just to be aware.
I see.
But in the village,
so I need to be...
you're safe. But in theory. But just so you're aware, whenever you're resting, you let me know whether or not you're wearing heavy armor as default, and we can kind of like if there's a particular situation in which you're feeling more threatened, maybe you do, and you can definitely wear it during any watch periods.
Okay. I mean, I guess I would only take it off if that's the case. He would probably just take it off if he's exhausted.
You also don't gain back as many hit dice or anything either.
What?
Yeah. If you weren't there's big disadvantages to it. I don't think you have to roll for a con save for exhaustion, but there's similar stuff for medium armor, and then light armor doesn't have any of the problems.
Sorry, what's the issue with medium armor then?
I think it's instead of getting back, so you normally get back like a certain number of hit dice. Medium armor gives you back half that amount, and then heavy armor gives you back a quarter of that. I believe. I'm looking up the rules here, but this is a FYI for the future, because I don't think you've played a heavy armor character before.
No, I haven't. Okay.
Makes more of a difference again when you're not resting in a safe area, allegedly safe area.
Make sure you're never exhausted.
Yeah, I'll always make sure of that though.
Okay.
Okay. I was going without a long rest. I'll find out eventually. So, you wake up the next day. The village, the Thorpe Haven, is in a very somber state. People have died, and things have generally just not been great over the last 24 hours. Kind of get that heaviness in the air to it. People not speaking to each other in the morning. It looks like there's a little bit of confusion of some things that just seem to be off routine. But people seem to be trying to move forward with a bit of strength. So where were each of you last night reminder.
I mean, Lawrence was staying with his family. I think you said we were staying with the bugbears.
I thought
Yes.
we were staying with the
Oh wait, no,
bugbears
sorry.
and-
We were staying with Tobias. That's
Yes,
right.
you were with Tobias.
Um,
Or were you with your parents?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there's no reason for us
You-
to split up, right?
No, I thought you all split up. I thought that was the whole thing.
Yes.
Um,
So wasn't it that Lawrence had the opportunity to stay with Tobias, but he was like, I'd rather stay with my family?
Yeah, I think that was
Oh.
what it was. But, so
So where did my family stay?
there's not enough room for all three of you to stay in one place. Your family had their tents and stuff there.
Oh, then yeah, I would be staying with my family because it would be, like Lawrence would, it would be weird for him to stay with a group, a couple of other people he doesn't know when he has family traveling with him, right?
Yeah.
So
What's another couple of nights anyway? People around the village are happy to help out with bringing, any food or water that they kind of would need. For now.
Oh, speaking of water, oh man, forgot to bring water down.
Oh, you should get some of that. Ghost would be very upset if you had no water.
True.
Yes.
Niserie,
economy.
where were you staying this night?
So, I believe Niserie and Vera were staying with Olaf and Reynolds. Two
Okay.
bugbears.
And where was Vera?
I thought we were
I
all
was-
Oh,
staying.
sorry,
Yeah,
you were
we
both
were-
staying together. Okay, right,
Yeah.
gotcha. I am bad at taking notes. I just wrote Lawrence dash Niserie. I was supposed to write Lawrence with Tobias. Niserie and okay, yeah, and Lawrence, you wake up. Your family are, they have that shared somberness of the rest of the people. They don't, they obviously don't feel the same way because they don't know anyone here, especially the ones who have died. Your mother has some quiet discussions with you. Is your mother a kind of worrying type, or is she quite what you describe her personality in one word? What would it be in relation to you?
In relation to me, well, no, she just lets us be. It's like she's like a tough love kind of person. You need to be exposed to the dangers of the world so you can learn and grow as a tabaxi. The world is rough. It's harsh, and protecting you will only endanger you when you're out and about.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
what you're saying is she's a tiger mom.
Tiger mums aren't really. Tiger mums are more like, aren't they usually more overprotective and things like that? I don't know.
That's true. I thought they just push you a lot.
I like where you're going, but I'm just not sure if that's what a tiger mum is. But yes, I like where you're going. She does want her youngins to excel, but in that sense, she's a tiger mom. But I don't know about the overprotectiveness. It's it's a tough world out there. You need to be able to make it on your own.
Yeah. Remains to be seen if
yeah.
she's a cougar yet. Got it.
Sorry.
What?
What?
Oh, anyway. Okay, so like when you came back last night, she wasn't worrying over you or anything. But
I mean,
she would look over you in such a way as that you feel that she's like kind of size you up, make sure that you did pretty much, are you okay? But not because she's worried about you, but because she's like, did you do well enough, kind of thing. She seems to be evaluating you when you come back as opposed to worrying.
Yeah, she's more like, I hope you didn't bring shame to our family.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You need to bring honor to our family.
And you did feel like you did a good job. You got a good whack from the giant at one point, and your armor's a little bit dented, Not in any particular way is going to cause any problems. Your father will happily
Can fix
buff it
it.
out for you if you like. Is your father then possibly like a kind of like not a warrior
I can
necessarily, but
fix.
is he the softer parent in that case?
He's also pretty tough, but he's less vocal.
The kind of quiet,
Yes.
okay, quiet toughness.
Yeah. But yes, he's less demanding, I guess,
But
than the mom.
supportive enough to know that you've had a pretty rough day, and that he'll happily buff out the armor for you as opposed to making you do it yourself this time. Because you have you've got blacksmithing skills and all. He's taught you.
Yep.
And yes, GG's Mulan quotes. This is Hot Lord turns into Mulan.
Oh, you got it. You got it. I actually
Let's
used
get
that
down.
last week as well.
Let's get
Was
down
it the first?
to business. We'll need to use this eventually. Okay. So yeah, you get your quiet evaluation from your mother. You seem to have done well by your family. You took enough like of a beating that it's not worrying, but it's like, okay, it wasn't an easy time for you. Good. And your father's helping you fix the stuff. You've got a brother, is that right?
2 brothers. Yep.
2 brothers. That's right.
Lawrence is a middle child.
They like during this time they're going about their business on your mother's orders and making the home get set up because they're aware they're going to have to be here for a couple of days at least before they can move in somewhere. So pretty much you're kind of like setting up this little tent village almost. 5 or 6 of them just in an area kind of interconnected, and they're trying to sort out the best way of doing it. So you pretty much got one tent that can be used pretty like as a kitchen. So yeah, you wake up. They expect you to begin helping in the morning and all. Like you might have got a free ride last night, Lawrence, but tonight, yeah, no more.
I was
back
fighting.
to
What the
work
heck?
with you.
Lawrence was doing the work of a warrior.
And they'll be kind of on the that was yesterday's today.
Yes.
Help
of course.
go and peel those potatoes.
No, there's never any rest for someone in our position.
Indeed. The 2 ladies waking up with the Bugbear family. I'm still having problems remembering these guys' names. I gotta like jump through everything to go back and forward. Olaf and Reynold. Is Reynold still in the chat? There's a guy named after you, Reynold. And their daughter Rosie. Who's an early riser between you two? Niserie and Vera.
I would say maybe Niserie, given her time over at the fight. Unless Vera is naturally an early riser as well.
I could see both of us being early risers.
Okay. Well, Vera, as you are currently the favorite of Rosie, you wake up and there's only you're both really kind of like sleeping on the floor on like mats in the main living area. There's not really a guest room or anything here. There's really just like a bedroom for the 2 men and a very small little bedroom for Rosie. And then you guys are in like the living area, which is like a kind of joint living area and kitchen. It's kind of like a condo actually, but made of wood. And you find, Vera, that Rosie is standing beside your bed, watching you as you wake up. You kind of just like turn over and like your eyes like kind of flicker open a little bit, and you see the kind of like shadow of her standing there, and she's got their hands up like this underneath her nose, just like watching you. Like have this like breathing in such a way as is like kind of scared that she'll wake you up, and she sees your eyes flicker, and like she ducks behind a table.
Oh, good morning. You're up early.
I didn't mean to wake you.
No, it's okay. It's about time we all get up and get to work.
My daddies are already there. Chopping.
Oh, do they need help chopping? I cannot chop wood. I'm so small.
They said not to wake you up. Because you need to rest. Because you had a hard day yesterday.
Well, I think I'm as good as new. So how about you and I find something to do?
They said I have to help make breakfast for you.
Breakfast? Why don't we make it together? I've never made breakfast before.
Oh,
Whoa.
I can teach you. It's easy.
She lives in the woods. What breakfast is she making?
We have eggs and bread.
Eggs? From birds? They just let you take their eggs?
Yeah. Yes. It's the chickens. Crumpet gives us eggs.
Crumpet the goblin?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you show me how you make eggs?
And she takes you to the little kitchen area, and there's kind of there's a little fire kind of thing going. There's nothing like really fancy here. There's like no big iron stove or anything at the moment. There's some wooden furniture, and the furnishings are actually quite nice here. You might get the feeling that maybe they're made by the two bugbears. That they do have some carpentry skills. But they do have this little fire, and there is an iron kind of big iron pan just like across the top of it. It's like maybe like a 1.5 feet in diameter. It's pretty big. And she shows you how to what she does for the breakfast. She pours some of this oil in the pan and throws on these big slices of bread that were already cut by someone. And she throws them into the pan, soaks up the oil, and fries the bread there before she puts the eggs in as well.
I love eggs.
Niserie, you wake up to the smell of frying.
Frying?
Good frying. Eggs, bread,
Oh,
frying,
I
in
heard
oil, frying.
Frying. I was like, okay, got it.
Smell, and you hear the hissing, and you can see across the room the two of these little ones frying in this big pan over the fire. And I would assume they're taking turns at standing on what is basically a stepping stool. There's one of them there, which was clearly for Rosie, but Vera is very much having a good time climbing up and down with Rosie, and at one point, perhaps they're both trying to stand on it, one with their left foot and one with their right foot, as they like reach over this hot stove, because I don't know about Vera, but for sure Rosie doesn't have the same kind of caution as maybe an adult would with this kind of stuff, because she hasn't yet burnt herself in a bad way.
Totally fair. So Niserie will note the both of them. I guess get up to greet them, but not necessarily participate. Instead, she'll probably do some like stretches to kind of limber up in the face of what is to come today. But still paying close attention to either of them, especially as Rosie tends to look a little more clumsy.
Yeah, and unless you're trying to like be hidden about doing all this, Vera would know.
Doing it enough.
Okay, Vera would notice you without any problem here, but Rosie won't have seen to notice unless you're pointed out. I believe Walt at this point will also be awake without any problem, especially with the smell of frying eggs. And Rosie has managed to put like 10 eggs in the pan, and she'll ask, I'm not. Do we need more? How many eggs can you eat? And she like says to Vera, because she hasn't noticed this area.
I could probably eat 1 or 2, but Walt over here, he sure likes his food.
He is a big boy.
He's a very big boy. He needs a lot of food.
Okay. And she basically takes another 5 out, starts cracking them in. You got 15 eggs in the pan. At the minute, you've got like a little stack of fried bread on the side. This is a big pan. It can take 15 eggs, just about. And
Are bugbears like really tall? Are they?
Bugbears are pretty tall. They're a bit taller than humans.
Okay.
She is about your size.
How old is she?
I'm 4.
Oh, at 4, she's my size. Okay. That's nice to know.
Yeah, like I mean, she'd be probably the same size as maybe an 8 or 9-year-old human.
Okay.
And she's got a kind of slightly larger head than should be for that size of body. Just slightly. It seems like a little bit off balance. But yes, she you guys make all these eggs, huge. She brings out these like wooden, really nicely furnished wooden plates, eggs and bread on them. Hands them. Get you all sitting down. She comes to serve you at the table when she makes sure that you're sitting before she comes and brings them over.
So cute.
And she even gets a plate for Walt and puts half a dozen eggs on the plate for Walt to kind of like gobble up. So
Yeah, Walt and I just inhale our breakfast.
excellent. Niserie, what is this breakfast like in comparison to what you would normally eat? I mean, outside of the field rations kind of stuff you've been doing for the last week or so.
I'd say it's just about normal. I don't think she would have any distinct thoughts about it. It's more of like, oh, a warm, filling meal.
Okay.
And she would sit by and join in conversation.
Okay. It's good as well. The eggs, the yolks are very, very like orange, and they taste good. Like free range kind of eggs, goblin farmed, right here in Haven.
Niserie would definitely give praise where praise is due and would compliment both Vera and Rosie for doing a really good job on breakfast.
And if you could see Bugbear blush, she would be blushing, and she hides her head under the table a little bit as she gets the compliment.
Aww.
She seems a little bit more reserved with you.
I mean, Niserie understands. She is a stranger and still technically new.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll give her a warm smile nonetheless. Mostly in the sense of them taking both Vera and herself in for the night. She's extremely grateful for that. And also for just showing their overall hospitality.
Yeah, and while you're having breakfast, they also give you like mugs of tea. Leaves that are the leaves are kind of like sitting at the bottom of the cups, and everything. But good hot water in there, good kind of smell of it, and there's a little bit of like a lemony-ish kind of like smell, like possibly lemongrass there as well. And you can hear during the breakfast that there's been some amount of chopping outside in the distance during this time. So, What
I
are-
guess Niserie would go out to see what the chopping was about.
Yeah. If you go outside, Rosie says she'll deal with all the dishes, and by her dealing with all the dishes, she takes them all and puts them on the floor and points at Walt.
Oh, gross.
Wolf is more than happy to help.
As you go outside, you see a couple 100 feet away, the two bugbears looking at a tree, and you see that they've got these big axes, and like one of them is pointing at a particular area, and the other kind of does this whole motion of like not too sure and points at a different area, and then they both begin to chop it like one after another, standing like on opposite sides. Like one chops, pulls the axe back, and the other's chopped in as they're pulling the axe back. And it's very fast kind of momentum of they're like chopping into this tree.
Sounds very methodical.
It looks like they've been doing it for a long time between them. Like they have a down. Like it's like perfect timing, like a metronome.
Synchronized chopping.
Yep, pretty much. And you can hear after 5 or 10 minutes this cracking noise as the tree gives way and falls in the opposite direction of them.
Sweet. And they haven't had breakfast yet, right?
You did not smell any cooking, at least prior to waking up. You didn't have a kind of like residual smell of anything that would be there. You're not sure
And
whether
did
they have or not.
you-
They have definitely been up before you.
Okay. And was there anything left after we finished breakfast, or?
You haven't looked in any of the cupboards. I would
Well,
say.
as in the breakfast made.
Oh, for the breakfast made,
breakfast
there was
that-
nothing left.
yeah.
No, it was
Oh,
just the
okay.
3 of you and Walt. Walt definitely ate whatever was left without any issue. Walt is a grown boy.
All right. All right, well done. We know you can finish up the dishes. So Niserie would go up to them now that the tree has officially fallen, and greet both Olaf and Reynolds, saying, "Good morning."
You see Olaf look across and oh, good morning. You slept like a log, if you don't mind me sorry. Just and you see like Reynolds just put a hand on the shoulder and like look endearingly into Olaf's eyes and goes, "That wasn't too bad." And this smile, and the smile kind of goes the whole way up to his eyes. It's this like you can see like a legitimate like love between them, and there's like this bit of embarrassment though from the way Reynolds said it towards you at least.
That's fair. Niserie, I think, would start off with an awkward smile, given the comment. I don't think she's used to people necessarily pointing out her sleeping habits to her. But it definitely warms up as she watches the interaction between the two, as they do slightly remind her of her parents, and the loving relationship that they had. She'll also continue going forward by saying, "Yes, it was a long night, long day yesterday. I also would like to thank you both for hosting us for the evening. We're
You
very
see,
grateful."
as you're like saying that, like Olaf puts a hand up and says, "Not a worry, not a worry. It's the least that we can do. You brought back that child, and you really helped out Heaven. Honestly, we can't repay you enough for what you did."
Nevertheless, one can never be too thankful about good company and a warm place to stay. Although I was curious, what plans does Haven have next, given the very unfortunate situation?
Well, been a bit of talks. People are deciding, but there's some ideas of how we can move forward. It seems that we aren't the kind of people who can just stay out of the world anymore. It seems that the world has come to us. We tried to escape, each for our own reasons. Doesn't look like that's the way it can stay. There's been talks of sending out people to connect with other towns and things, but we're discussing that more later on. We're having a small meeting of the settlement in a couple of days after the funerals are finished with.
Of course.
Did you come to stay in here?
I think, and actually, in Menda Talk, was that the conversation that the adventurers had together to find a place to stay, or what was?
I think that was your intention, right? Like you guys
It
were
was the intention, but I wasn't sure if they were trying to necessarily hide in like a large, like if they spoke about hiding in a larger place, like a larger city, and getting lost in the crowd, or like in an unknown small village just to be in the middle of nowhere.
Well, Olaf,
sorry.
Go ahead, Bill.
My audio is breaking up a little bit. No, my audio was just breaking up a little bit.
Well, Olaf, listen, it would be lovely if you stayed.
You're kind of breaking up too. What is going on?
I am breaking up, or
no, Emenar from my end.
Is it me? Strange.
No, I think it was me. It was me. For me, it was me, but maybe it's you too. Maybe it's not just me.
Maybe it's all of us.
Oh, for me, Emenar was a bit choppy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, it could be the fact that I'm on like a whole bunch of different devices. Maybe not. Not sure. GG says you can hear us fine. There is a bit of a lag for the stream though, so it should be a bit different than the for everyone on the stream listening to me as opposed to you guys in Discord. Let me know if the problems continue and I can plug this thing in. I just haven't plugged it in yet because it's actually getting better uptime on Wi-Fi than it is when I put in the LAN cable for some reason.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know what goes on with that, but on occasion that's what happens, and the LAN cable is worse than the Wi-Fi.
So I guess in terms of like rewound talk, I guess Niserie would have spoken to Lawrence about, hey, what are your plans?
Yeah,
and also to Vera, what are your plans?
Yeah, let's step this back a few days. Like, what were you discussing on the road? Because you're all going in the same direction. You're aware you're going in the same direction for a reason.
Yeah, Lawrence was planning to find a place to settle down with his family to get to be in hiding and stuff. So yeah, that was definitely the intent. Yeah.
Okay. I think near Niserie would have been. She would wanted to settle down, but at the same time be able to make money to live a comfortable life. So ideally, it would either be within the city or in a place close to the city or in a place that was established enough to reach the city.
What about the challenge?
The challenge?
Of a nice startup.
Well, that's something that like she would propose if the rest of her companions were like, hey, I want to stay in like a small village. That would be the compromise that she would come to internally.
Wait, Vera.
Vera is just out to see the world. All as Haven is something very new to her.
Yep. You haven't
Oh,
been to any other town either. Like you've been in
Yeah,
High Forest your entire life.
Haven's the biggest town Vera has ever been to.
It's crazy the number of dwellings here, and there's no
It's not
trees
even a
around.
town.
I mean, it's one of those things where you take it as you kind of go. Olaf is asking you. Olaf or Olaf? Asking you if you're willing to stay. Olaf with an E.
I guess in that situation,
And it's
then
one of those things you could take it as it goes, kind of thing. Like you don't need to be staying your whole life thing. He seems to be asking you in a way as like, well, it's like no pressure kind of thing. But it'd be nice for you to stay for a bit.
oh, and I guess in that case, Niserie would be like, oh, I think my companions and I would like to explore the area, so we wouldn't mind having a place to stay at the end of the night or the end of the week, sort of thing. So we will be traveling back and forth, but whether my companions wants to stay, I think we would have to speak on it further.
And Reynold says, then, well, listen, if you're wanting to stay, we can build you a home, no problem. Here, have your own. They're not much, but we can get one of these up for you in the guts of a week or so. Small thing.
And then I guess she would smile appraisingly and ask both Olaf and Reynold if they're the ones that had built most of the homes here in this thorp.
Yep, that was us. Had some help from the smith as well for some of the things, especially the forge. But well, there's none of that anymore. Funeral.
Right. And of course, here she'll extend her condolences again and be like, I'm sure they were fine people, and I'm sorry for your loss. But it'd be a shame to not stay in a place with such fine, I guess, would you consider them carpenters?
It's hard to pin them down. They're loggers, but they also are carpenters if they're building stuff.
Yeah.
You know, craftsmen, you would say.
Yeah, then she'll say craftsman. We had the opportunity to view a few homes, and I can see that you would do really good work. I'm very impressed.
Oh, why, thank you. We do our best. Something that we both learned over the years, and well, we took to it well enough. It's something that helps Haven, helps the people here. New people come in, and we have some people who help us do it. It's not just the both of us, but they'll. We expect a little bit of help, and everyone helps each other out. That's just the way the place is. Everyone knows that we need to be helping and sharing in order to survive here. You know,
And then she'll also add in being and humble too, as they sort of try to distribute the praise all around. And,
Wait, like, I feel like Niserie's not usually like this nice.
No, she is. She's like a noble, right? So she's kind of having good conversation, making connections, sort of thing. And she's
So
also a firm believer. Yeah. She's a firm believer of one, giving praise where praise is due, but also she is also very aware that people are more receptive to her and her company if they think of her and her company in a better light, and that usually involves compliments.
Yep, very diplomatic of you.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, yes, not everyone's not that humble, really. But
Should have given her a better charisma score. What the heck? And then I guess she'll round it off by saying, "Hey, like offering to help for the funeral. Is there anything that her and her companions can do?" Just to get a sense of what the dwarf might need in a more immediate sense, and then reconvene with Lawrence afterwards.
Oh, we don't really know what to do with the funeral. Speak to maybe the priest. He'll help you. Maybe figure something out if you can help or not.
Do we know who the priest is?
Yep. The priest is the one that
I fixed
Lawrence
the leg.
was fixing the leg of.
Oh, him, broken leg. Got it. She does not say that, by the way. She thinks that, though.
Oh, everything just clicks in her mind. Right, broken leg guy. Got it.
All right, then she'll say, okay, I recall he sustained an injury, so we'll go check to see how we might be of help as well.
Okay. During this time, Vera, you have helped tidy up the rest of the dishes after Walt has licked them and helped with Rosie stack them up in the counter. I'm not sure how you consider this for being clean dishes. Rosie considers it clean. What do you think?
Looks clean to me. I've only eaten off of leaves.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
Those are disposable.
It certainly looks clean. So what do you do then whenever you're finished with all that with Rosie?
We wander out to figure out where Niserie has headed off to and find our friend Lawrence.
Yep. I mean, at this point, Niserie's finished their conversation, and she seems to be walking back in this direction as you walk out through the door.
Oh, Vera, how are the dishes? Clean, I hope. I just ran into both Olaf and Reynold. They're actually extending their hand and welcoming us to the Thorpe. But I think that also would be a conversation to speak to Lawrence about.
And at this point, Lawrence, you've been walking around a little bit and helping out your parents.
Yeah.
They've got everything relatively set up. You've had breakfast. They cleaned their dishes with they've got a bucket of water that you took from the well. The well is fairly damaged, but the wreckage can be moved around, and people basically are just throwing a bucket down on a rope and pulling the water back up. The water unfortunately comes with some bits of debris in it, like sticks and stuff that float on top. But eventually that will stop, hopefully. You do see all the way up at the forester's hut area that there's people gathered outside the front door, and you make out a big dog among them.
Oh, yes, it's my good friend, Walt.
Yeah. So they're they're a quarter of a mile away kind of thing. Like if you measure off the map there, it's a fair distance, but I mean it depends where you are, but you could make your way up there, or they could come back down. I'm thinking.
I guess I'll go there.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm thinking you're kind of in the
like
middle part somewhere there, but I don't know.
If I'm like taking a break from helping rebuild stuff in the town and stuff, I'd probably go and chat, see how they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too early yet that you've actually started helping rebuild anything. This is just you've basically helped your parents, your brothers, get sorted, and trying to make things more comfortable. Like your mother has given you a number of tasks to sort before you can go out and do your other stuff. Your dad gives you like a look of like, just do it, just get what she wants done, then you can be on your way, kind of thing. Like it's joint understanding between you. She's the bossy one of your family, is that maybe like the more leadership?
She calls the shots.
Yeah.
Yes, she calls the shots. Yeah.
Yeah, and he takes her wisdom in stride, and he has no problem with it, and he's just like, on occasion will just be like, even though you'll do it anyway, it's like just do what your mother says. Kind of I'll look.
Listen to your mother.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
What?
But yeah, you see your allies, your friends up there, up by the forester's hut.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, while that's happening, I guess Niserie would have filled Vera in terms of the conversation, as well as the suggestion to maybe perhaps visit the priest, just so that the town can, one, help out with the funeral, but two, Tomlin probably still has a broken leg. I don't think that would have been fixed overnight,
Well,
so
definitely not.
he's going to need a lot of help. And then I guess whether or not, like, would Vera want to go to the priest, or would she have other plans?
Oh, let's go see him and help him. Vera remembers him. The broken
Alright.
leg guy.
She actually says it out.
Everyone knows him as the broken leg guy.
Niserie will nod and be like, yes, Tomlin. And then start off in that area.
Nice. So you guys head down, and Lawrence sees you walking towards. Swig from Waterskin redeemed. Thank you. Lawrence, you'll see them making their way down towards you. So after 5 minutes or so, you guys meet up on one of the dirt paths in the thorp.
Morning, Lawrence. Slept well, I hope?
Morning. Yes, it's definitely nicer than being out on the road.
Did you stay with Tobias by chance?
No, we camped out.
Oh, so
But
then
it's nicer knowing that you're within these walls. Oh, well, not really walls, but at least within this what do you say? Inhabited
Perimeter?
area? I don't know. He's lost for words. He's not very smart. I'm not very good with words, but it feels safer here than being completely out in the open.
Funny after it just being attacked. But
being attacked?
well, the place is just being attacked, right?
Yeah, it's not very
Oh,
safe.
yes. No, but like being in a thorp, at least.
Niserie will just nod and be like, sure. Anyways. Would you like to accompany us to visit Tomlin? I hear he might need some help.
If he needs a more re-straightening of his legs, I can definitely help with that.
She'll be like, well, beyond that, are you perceptive when it comes to rituals or religion, I suppose?
No, not at all. I know nothing about religion and customs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm willing to listen to him. I've heard people preach about their religions and stuff and things like that, but never really got into it myself.
Sounds good. Well, let's go see how we can be of help to Tomlin.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
We know what he's a follower of when we saw his holy symbol.
I don't think you've asked.
Well, we'll find out now.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out now.
Yeah, I've given some hints, but no one actually asked. Not that you guys would probably know what the hints are.
There were more pressing. There were more pressing matters. So
Only
where
really
in-
Lawrence that had spoken to him and fixed his leg.
He was outside on the ground, so you would have all seen him.
he got unconscious after I put his thing back on.
Yeah, he's tired, probably just. But yeah,
He was knocked out.
Tomlin
The
Baker.
pain was too much for him.
Yeah. So you head to little shrine area. of which behind it is a small little house. Again, like a wooden building.
Sounds good. I guess we would go up to the house and knock, as polite people would do.
Yeah, and you hear a kind of call from inside. Come in.
I guess she'll try to open the door and go in.
Yep. Open the door. Small kind of like 2-room place. And you see in the far room, which is not that far away, Tomlin lying on the bed, looking a little grumpy. Sorry, I'd get up, but I've been told
No.
I'm not allowed to get up.
Yes, please don't strain yourself. We've seen the leg.
Yeah, well, that's what Mary said. The leg. It's just it's merely a flesh wound. You know, it's bone that's broken. That's not gonna do you anything. Like, I can easily move around with there's this excellent splint here that your friend here made, and he points at Lawrence. It works.
Right.
I'm glad I
fine.
could be of help.
And I'm sure my friend wouldn't want his work undone if you moved around too much.
There's a lot to be done. I need to go and visit the families of people, make sure everyone is not completely distressed.
Yes.
This is the time I'm needed the most. After
I think you might cause more trouble than you're helping with your condition.
Do I have a bonking stick option?
You don't want to make it worse and cause trouble for other people, would you?
Niserie would intervene and be like, "This is why we've volunteered to see if you could need any help with the rest of the
Exactly.
preparations for both the funeral and to console those around us."
Well, this is exactly what Mary was saying. Cause more problems. Look, or any of you, none of you look like priests.
No.
You see him like kind of trying to size you up. Walt is like putting a tongue up his nose, and Vera's standing there with like a bow on her back, and Niserie, you've got robes, I guess, of some sort. The ones kind of like in your picture.
Yeah.
But you're not like wearing any kind of like holy symbol stuff. He's giving you like a longer look than Vera. And he's like shakes his head, looks at Lawrence, and like kind of like really gives Lawrence this look, and nope, I don't. Just what if you carry me around?
That sounds like a great idea.
God.
I guess we could put him on Walt.
I guess you could.
Wait, no, we can't put him on Walt. He's too big. Nope, we cannot put him on Walt.
Oh,
Yeah, you do
gosh.
quick maths in your head. You're like, doesn't add up. It's not a good idea.
If only I could make
Wait,
Walt
what is he
bigger.
again?
He's a human.
He's human.
Yeah,
Oh.
but Walt is the size of a wolf at best, right? So
Yep.
probably not the best. Niserie will be like, "I take really good notes. How can I help? I don't think your moving around would help your current situation."
Well, I need to at least take the ceremony tomorrow.
Yes. But is there any prep work that we can help ahead of time?
The bodies need prepared. The graves
The
need dug.
bodies.
The bodies of the deceased.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
So he gives Lawrence this strange look, like, what on earth are you asking?
Wait, I mean, he's not a mortician, right? Like,
yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying he's giving you a strange look, like this is a very strange question. When you're talking about a funeral.
he's not a mortician. Is there a mortician here?
I mean, that's typically the role of a priest in a small location, right? Any marriage,
really?
funerals,
Yep.
are all handled by a priest.
Well, we're not really prepared for the number of deaths that we've had in such a short period of time. So we don't have the necessary oils or anything like that. The graves needing dug is a. You haven't been started. Everyone's been in such a. But
Understandable. You mentioned oils.
we have enough for a few of the people, but not for everyone. It's not a necessity, of course, but it doesn't matter really what if you're buried in particular ways or not. But some people prefer the rituals and things to it, and it would just be nice to have. But we don't have those.
Of course. Is there anywhere nearby that would supply these, or do you make them from scratch?
No, we don't have the resources in heaven to make these oils. They're like perfumes and things. It just requires we need to bring them in, really, and we haven't got really any proper trade set up between any of the towns, and they're just too far away to get any in a period of time we'll need them for. We can't preserve the bodies in any. We don't have anything to preserve the bodies either. So we have to bury tomorrow, realistically.
I guess in that situation, Lawrence, this big, strong gentleman, will be able to assist in digging the graves. And then Niserie gives him a pat on the back, kind of being like, trying to like, talk him up, be like,
Can't you use some kind of magics to do this? Why do you need me to dig up
I'm just saying, Lawrence heading this mission would be a good look on you.
This is not a mission.
Lawrence, I'm afraid when digging graves we don't use magic either. It's unless it's absolutely necessary.
Not?
Part of the ritual. Part of the ritual in digging of the graves is the time of reflection, and
well, who needs to reflect? Whoever needs to reflect should be digging the graves then, right?
And it is, as Niserie said, a sign of respect that you don't just take the easy way out and
Niserie,
you look like a big guy. You look strong. It looks like.
Well, it's not.
Niserie would be a very strong, gripped hand on his shoulder and be like, "Hey, like they need some help with the burials. We should help as much as we can." And given that you are a man of 1,000 battles, a warrior.
I'm a warrior, not a gravedigger.
But
yes, but to honor your people that you fight with. No.
What do you mean? I don't bury the bodies of my fellow
your
warriors.
Comrades?
No, I don't. That's the gravedigger's job.
We don't have a gravedigger in heaven. Yeah. Niserie just
brings a gravedigger with him on journeys.
Yeah,
of course.
While these two are arguing, Vera at Walt and says to him, "You like digging, don't you?" And Walt kind of just nods back very enthusiastically.
Oh, that's true.
And,
one volunteer.
The two of us wander
Excellent.
out while no one's looking.
Start digging?
Just start digging?
Yeah, just start digging holes.
Oh.
He likes digging and he likes bones.
Well, at least you're taking the initiative.
It's just like, every different place has different customs. I mean, the least we could do is help them, given that provided us a place to stay.
And how are you helping?
I will be digging too. I'm just saying you could have led it and, showed off your amazing prowess. But I guess if you don't want to be the lead of this particular mission that is extremely important, I understand that you're not capable enough.
The lead tells people what to do. Me doing does not make me the lead.
There are other people who in the town who could help. I would certainly do it myself if I didn't have this broken leg and I didn't have other things I needed to do, but no one will let me do.
Of course. So what else is on the list?
Unless you want to
why
carry
don't
me
we
around,
all dig?
Lawrence.
Why don't we all dig?
I will if you help me get out of the bed.
No, I mean not the priest, but the three of us or the four of us.
You notice that Vera and Walt are no longer here.
Where did they go? I guess Niserie would go back out to find Vera and Walt.
Yeah, are you just digging out in front of the shrine, or?
Well, Walt is kind of sniffing around, sniffing the ground for a good spot, and he'll stop and paw. And Vera's standing next to him like a surveyor, yes, the soil seems a bit too loose. And if you follow him, you see a little crack of Walt-shaped footprints and dirt kicked up every here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just little mounds, very, very tiny, small ones, but yep. Tufts of grass.
Niserie has prestidigitation on the ready.
You're just cleaning yourself?
Yep. In case any of the dirt flies over, she's just like, no.
Okay.
And then she'll laugh and she'll be like, well, looks like someone's taking the initiative. Totally a jab at Lawrence, by the way.
And is it
right?
Do you guys walk out away from the priest?
I mean, you said it was a small place, right? So would she have been able to peek outside the door and witness all that while still being?
Yeah, I think you would.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what Niserie would have done. And then I guess in that pointed remark back to Lauren, she would have been like, at least someone's taking an initiative to help. And then afterwards also point out, hey, maybe to the priest, you should probably remain in bed. What else is needed?
You see he's trying to get up at this point when you turn your back and scooches back in the bed, puts his fist up against his chin and goes, oh, well, there is beer.
Go on.
I was hoping to save it for a celebration, but I think it would be best used after the funeral.
So a reception of sorts. Got it.
Yes. Of sorts. Reflection. People like to drink during these things. I have 2 barrels of ale that I have made here myself. I call it Haven Husk. But was gonna save it. But this is a time of need. And thus it will be used for the people.
I feel like he's gotta work on that name.
Do you mention anything about the name?
No.
Okay. So, the graves, we are thinking of putting them up the hill along one of the tree lines. Not terribly close, but I suppose we'll have to make a graveyard of sorts. You could
Start
recruit.
trekking.
Sorry?
Oh. No. Keep going.
You could recruit people from the town to help out as well. there are a fair number of people who died, but the bodies as well need prepared. I can help guide you through what needs done. If there's any of you here,
Yeah, I can help out with that.
Have you worked with dead bodies before?
Have I worked with dead bodies before?
Worked with dead bodies, not made
Yes.
dead bodies. I understand how people such as yourself have been required to do certain things to survive, and I don't judge at all. But have you actually worked with dead bodies?
Right. So would Niserie have worked with dead bodies?
Not in her line of work, I wouldn't think.
She'll look to both Vera and Lawrence, and also probably mention that, hey, they're planning to relocate these holes somewhere else. Maybe stop digging.
Walt looks very sad at this, but he stops.
She'll tell him soon.
Soon TM.
Not too familiar with preparing dead bodies. Back with my tribe, we usually had dedicated healers who dealt with that.
As I said, if you can help me get around, I can help you. Guide you through the steps. But
Lawrence, would you like to carry Mr. Baker around?
Sure, I'll carry him around.
okay, and you see he's like visibly gets excited.
Okay.
He's very clearly does not want to stay in bed.
I guess I'll give him like a piggyback ride or something.
Yep, just watch the leg, and tell you what, give me a dexterity check. To watch the leg, or sleight of hand, either.
Sleight of hand or dexterity?
If you don't have sleight of
Just
hand, it's the same thing.
Yeah. 10.
You kind of he winces a little bit as you're like lifting him up, but outside of that, you seem to not injure him any further. If you are, he's definitely putting on a brave face so he can get out of bed. Hard to tell.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So you head out and like, he puts his like hand up, like as the sunlight comes down. Like, seemingly a little over dramatic about it, maybe. But yeah, you come out and we got the bodies laid together. It would probably be for the best not to be preparing them out in the open. So I think we'll take them back to my place and put them on the table and deal with them there.
Very well. Do you need me to carry them back?
This is going to be difficult, isn't it?
How many bodies are there?
5.
5 dead bodies.
We could get Tobias to help too.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Tobias would certainly help in this matter. To Tobias's, and he like, he's like on your back, and he points in that direction, kind of like kind of a tally ho, their horse. And for a brief moment, you feel he's like this squeezing of his like legs around you as if he's trying to make you gallop forward. Lawrence?
Yeah, so I go with him. What?
Yep.
Sorry, I thought we were going to Tobias's.
Yeah. So you head off towards Tobias's. Tobias is outside at the moment. Seemingly doing something with his garden. It's not much of a garden. But as he looks up, you can see that his eyes are a little bit puffy and red. Oh, hi. Oh, good morning. Such a lovely day.
Good morning, Tobias.
Morning.
He gives a
We've got
strange
company.
look at the priest on Lawrence's back. The priest just kind of like you notice he gives this smile of like a child doing
Awkward
something
smile?
wrong and pretending they're not doing something wrong. You know, like trying to hide their guilt kind of smile.
Mischievous?
Yeah, and this guy's like 40 years old, by the way. Just to put it into context here.
Yes, Tomlin here really insisted getting out of bed to help with the funeral.
There's so much work that needs done, of course. We could use your help, Tobias. We need to prepare the bodies. We need someone to help with relocating them a couple of times. Tobias like nods his head just quietly, just in agreement. Stands up straight and like dusts himself off a bit. Lead the way. They direct you back towards where the bodies are, and you're near the kind of ruined building that looks like it's been crushed, where the patches of dried blood are around some of the stones. And there are these blankets that are weighed down with rocks and things over the bodies. And Tomlin directs you to take the one in the end, directs Tobias to take one in the end, and you bring them back to the small little hut where he lives. And he says, you could probably put me down here, Lawrence, and I can do a little bit of this work, but I'm not going to have the maneuverability that I need for everything, so I will need a hand. Looks up
just tell them what to do. Just tell them what to do, and he just keeps carrying Tomlin. Tell them what needs to be done. You don't have to.
I can sit right there though. There's a chair right in the corner. I'm sure I can do it. I promise I won't injure myself. I promise. I'm a priest. I can't break a promise.
Okay. I mean, depends on your religion, right? Who knows? Maybe your religion. all right. He lets him down.
You make a good gently. Point, Lawrence. Nice.
What is his religion?
You haven't asked yet.
What is your religion, anyway?
Well, don't we all believe in all of the gods, really? At the end of the day.
Yes, but which one do you worship?
Emenar.
Or, like, follow? I don't know.
Emenar.
Emenar?
Emenar.
Do I know anything about him?
Yeah, you can. And you guys can all make a religion check. You know that it is a god of the Forgotten Realms kind of setting, and like you'll know just the basics of that fact. Ooh, but there are so many of them, right? So, Vera, you're not sure, but for good reason. Like you've been hidden away, and you've got your own ones. Like you don't know these people's gods, unfortunately. But Niserie and Lawrence, you both know Emenar is the god of endurance. Generally, when people go through pain and suffering, this is the kind of priest that you would come to. They would live lives of a little bit of hardship. They would go to places that are harder to like live at, or where people are having the most problems. Like they're the ones who do the charity work and anything involving helping people.
It sounds like they're the masochists. The masochistic type.
Not masochists. Yeah, they endure. So they don't put themselves into harm's way or anything for the sake of it. They endure through any hardships, and they help other people do the same. So it's not...
That all makes sense.
Yeah, it's not out of any kind of love for pain. It is purely helping people get through that pain. There is a more masochist one. I don't remember which one. You guys met it in the Hallister's game one, I think. The big ogre guy was under that one, the Tar of Woe. 7 was.
Oh, the one with the legendary, the boss.
Yeah. The legendary boss guy. Yeah, he was on. I don't remember the name of the one.
We didn't even know.
Dear.
Your paladin, Your paladin, like, knew of it. But anyway, yeah. So you set him down, and he points off into the corner and asks for some oils and stuff. And your ogre friend here is having a hard time fitting in, so he's not gonna stay inside the building. But one of you guys can help reach for the oils and help him with that, and like basically instructs. First of all, you gotta wash your hands, and everything. Asks for a bucket of water, gives you all these different instructions. So, who is it that's gonna end up helping him?
I guess this would be more finer type of work, right? So.
Yep.
So I guess, I mean, Lawrence can try to help, but yeah, he can try to help. Like, do you need help with this? Do you want me to help with this?
He looks at your big furry paws and like,
Oh.
then looks at Niserie with this almost like wider eyes, like kind of staring at you.
Niserie would have volunteered earlier if it weren't for the fact that Lawrence was so against digging for the graves, so she was kind of set on helping out with that end.
She doesn't want to help because of the grave thing? Okay.
Well, because Lawrence said he didn't want to do the grave digging, right? So she was like, fine, like, I'm not the strongest, but I guess I'll go dig graves with people if need be.
So what are you doing when he's
fine? And Lawrence is offering. He's not the most good with his hands, but he's like, okay, I can help if you want.
Yep. And the priest's like staring at Niserie, like, what does Niserie do?
Will, like, pretends not to notice.
And then he's like,
and she'll be like, oh, I think, like, since Lawrence wants to help, the rest of us can go dig graves.
Vera, what are you doing? He turns to look at you after Niserie is like walking away.
I'm torn because Niserie is gonna go dig the graves, and I see Walt begging, pleading.
Are you really torn then?
Of course not. I would always do whatever Walt wants to do.
There you go.
So the priest is left with Lawrence.
I send Walt with Niserie, and I stay to help, but I make sad eyes back at Walt as he gets to go play.
And Walt gives you these horribly sad eyes, I assume, but whenever you turn around, it's like bouncing in joy. I would assume. Yes, I could use some help, but I'll need smaller hands, and like kind of like etching for you to come over, Vera. It's like, well, we need smaller hands to help with working with this stuff. Now, you don't get queasy, do you?
Not especially.
Good. Well, we best get to it then. And he starts to basically gives you instructions for like getting some water from the well and then washing your hands. And then you get these oils and stuff that you're going to end up using. But basically, going to take the sheet off the body and get you to help undress and stuff. Oh, there's a reroll. Thanks, GD. For the session. you undress the bodies, clean them up first. This one looks like it's got like a broken ribs and things. It also looks like bloated and gray, and there's still a lot of kind of horrible stuff to it. What I will ask you both to do is give me Constitution saving throws. Not so great, Vera.
Yeah. She was totally lying about being not queasy.
Yeah, you guys do have the rerolls if you want to use them for anything, but yep. I think the rerolls are just basically if you say you want to use it, then you get to use it. You don't have to, obviously, but there's 2 sitting there right now.
2 rerolls? What?
Yeah, GD has redeemed 2 so far.
Oh, thank you, GD. Then maybe I will use one.
Lawrence, you give me a Constitution save?
Sorry. Constitution save.
Nope, I should not have used it. Nope, I have been cursed.
Yep, 5 is way worse. You kind of...
That's not me.
You can re-roll as many times as you want as well, but...
16.
16? Okay, Lawrence, yeah, you've seen battle. Thousands of battles. You've seen dead bodies.
Yes.
You've seen the aftermath. Days later.
Reroll.
Revealed.
Reroll.
Oh, there's a reroll now that GD has redeemed if you want to reroll again. It is for now only.
Then I must.
I assume that
GD
goes
believes
to
in me.
I assume that goes to Vera. 12. So, but Lawrence, you've had this you've come back after battles. You've seen the remnants of other battles and corpses and all. You've seen this stuff before. You never had to work with them, but you have seen it and experienced that before. The close-up smell and everything, and it's not nice. You're not enjoying the work. It becomes very much quiet. There's a lot less joking from the priest. Very little joking at all, and you get through it. Vera, you're in a weird place where you have seen dead bodies, in the forest, but they're mostly animals, not people. And it takes a bit of a turn for you initially, and you feel a bit of like bile rising up in your throat. You get a little dizzy at one point, but you pull yourself through. You manage to like press on with it. Not sure how it takes form in your head. Like, do you have to convince yourself like it's not alive anymore, or is it just like what? Is there any particular way that you would help yourself kind of press through it?
Oh, you're asking me a question.
Yeah.
She just sort of tries to like think back to like, trusting the animals and stuff, right, that they sort of like, she's a ranger. They go to collect the food and stuff for the town as well. So.
Yep. Yeah. So you've had to deal with animal bodies and all, and you just kind of like think of it that way. It's a big chunk of meat, almost, but a little bit different. And you get through it okay. When you're done, Tomlin shouts out for Tobias to come in and take the body away and bring the next one in. And you work through most of the day like this. It's slow work. There's like strange things that you didn't think would have to be done for the bodies to make them presentable looking. Some makeups and everything applied so they don't look as horrific. And you cover them up with cleaner clothing that has been left for them by others. They have to be like dressed in such a way as to cover up the grievous wounds, of which some of them later are far worse, being like quite a bit crushed underneath parts of the buildings and things. It's kind of eye-opening, the difference compared to what you would usually have to deal with. Meanwhile, in this area, you're heading up with Walt to go dig some graves on your own.
No, with Tobias's help, or she would have recruited Tobias.
Tobias is he'll initially go with you to show you where it is, but he says he has to go back and help with the bodies, carrying them back and forth whenever the priest needs. The graves are going to be a little bit too far away for him to be running back and forward. So he'll help and show you where they go.
Does she know? Does she see anyone along the way?
There are plenty of people in the town, but along the way is kind of you're walking out of the town to get there. So you have to walk around and recruit help.
Sure. So she'll, I guess, size people up, and who would be the most eligible person within range? I guess from the priest's house.
Well, if you're kind of like walking out of the priest's house, you're gonna move around a little bit to to recruit help. Squat is the first person who walks right into you, carrying a chicken.
What? Spot is the goblin, right?
It is one of the goblins. Yes. He is carrying a chicken. You hear this squawking noise as the chicken leaves his hand. And actually, do you guys want to take a couple of minutes of break? I know, Bill, you probably still haven't got a drink of water yet.
Oof.
No, I haven't.
You're dying.
Upstairs.
Go get your water. Right, let's see.
Fine. Ghost is not here.
I know Ghost's not here.
Ghost is not here.
I have to semi-ghost for us. I need to go to the washroom anyway, so...
Did Ghost ghost us?
Maybe. Also,
Alright, I'll go get some water.
In the morning. Alright, you go water skin. Right, okay, let's take 2 or 3 minutes. Just be right back. Put the be right back thing on. Do I have any more? Right. Okay. Oh, this is not the right thing. Well, anyone out there, feel free to join our Discord for future events between us. We are almost on fire. We've got a Discord between us. Fun games and stuff on there. Billsalive and Isabel. Follow their channels as well. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, I'll put it Discord in the chat as well. Discord. I can spell that. Oh, I haven't had dark chocolate in ages. Great. Other things you can do. We're gonna have community things between the weeks for this D&D things for helping Haven build itself up. Isabel already has the trade routes put together, which are gonna start once we get through the funeral.
Yeah.
Silvertwix are here.
Yeah, sorry, I was eating. Snacking.
Excellent.
Are we back?
I'm not sure if Isabel is yet.
Swig from the water skin, eh?
Yep. Yeah, and anyone else out there watching, you can redeem points on the channel here to allow for rerolls for the players. Help them out with the terrible rolls that they get.
I've been getting okay rolls.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, where'd the chocolate go?
Holy smokes, I got so much junk mail.
Bonjour.
Ah, you're back. Hello.
Bonsoir.
Ça va?
Okay. Is everyone back?
Yeah.
So.
Is Twix back?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Twix never left.
Oh.
Wait,
Well, then-
are we saying Twix is the short for Silvertwix? Silvertwix, what do you prefer?
Oh, I go by Silver.
Ah, okay, Silver.
Oh, are you guys okay with like the colors of your names and stuff on the stream thing? Does it work all right
It's
for you?
perfect.
Okay.
I mean, yellow does work for tigers. So
I've messed up the alignment of these borders, I have realized. I'm so foolish. Silvertwix is
You look fine. Oh,
that's great, though.
overall,
It's really good.
Yeah, overall.
not that bad. Kind of like get off center.
The religion check looks like it lines up with the background.
It does.
I don't know if that's intentional, but
No, I
That's
have.
cool.
I need to cut the edge off that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it works okay. It works okay. Okay, so. Oh yeah, the background at the very top. Wow, yeah, I didn't notice that. Nice. Okay, so Niserie, you're heading up. You're looking for help. You have run into the little goblin squat. Ah! Watch where you're going. Oh, it's you.
What?
Morning. How did you like the eggs?
It was good. It was delicious. Thank you for providing them.
Ah, well, you know, Crumpet and I have lots of eggs, so like to share the eggs, especially because you brought back so many of our little chickens. Oh, I don't know what we do without them. They're our love and joy.
So cute. Yeah, so Niserie mentioned that she's happy that he's reunited with his chickens, and it's extremely generous of him and Crumpet to share the eggs.
No, you're welcome. I'm so happy. I don't know what I'd do without them all. It's sad about the ones who didn't make it back, but they're in a better place now.
Oh, that's true. Speaking of which, we're actually looking for some volunteers to help dig for their graves. Would you be interested in helping out?
Of course, I'll do anything. Holes need dug. Squat here could do it. Let me just.
Alrighty.
let me just put this one back. I'll get Crumpet. She'll help too. And he runs off.
All right,
towards,
so she's doing quick math, right?
Yep.
Between Waltz, herself, and Crumpet, how quickly would she
Squat?
calculate the job to be done?
It depends. Like 2 goblins and a corgi that likes digging holes randomly. Like, how quick will the job be done? Right, is what she starts to calculate.
I see. All right, next person.
I mean, it should be pretty quick, right? Yeah, you have an expert digger there.
The next person you see is someone you haven't seen before. There's a woman who's walking around with a young boy. Looks around like a young teenager. She seems to be carrying like a small basket.
I guess she'll approach them and greet them and be like, "Good morning. How are you? How are the both of you?"
Oh.
Do they look as if they're part of the village though, or just like someone wandering in?
They're not wearing traveling stuff.
Okay.
She's just carrying a basket. She's actually bringing it towards where you are at the shrine. Oh, it's nice to meet you. You must be one of the new travelers who've arrived. Oh, were you one of the ones who went out yesterday?
I am, and
Oh, well, thank you so much for bringing back that child. That was worrying my family. Sorry, I'm Melissa. Melissa Moore. This is my son, Benjamin. We own the farm just over there, the one with the wheat and cotton. I'm just bringing some things here for the priest.
And I'm sure the priest will need a lot of help.
I brought cloths for the bodies.
What's the son's name again? Or did she not say?
Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin. Yeah.
Well, I guess in that case, Niserie will be like, "Yes, I'm sure Tomlin will need a lot of help back there. But I hope you and your family are well, and
No, of course.
Sorry for your loss.
Yes, thank you. Stop by anytime. We can give you some flour or anything that you need to get going if you're new here. We have some vegetables as well that we grow.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Do you need any help?
We're actually gonna head over to the top side to dig some graves. Do you know if anyone might be available to help out?
She looks down at her son. Ben here will help. Won't you, Ben? And he looks up and he seems to be very, very sad. Like he seems to be unfocused. Like, what?
Oh,
You'll help them dig.
And she'll interject. She'll be like, "I couldn't ask that of a child, not of a child that is mourning."
Please, he could use something to distract him for a bit.
God damn it! What am I, a babysitter of goblins?
You see the goblin running
dog and a child.
Both goblins are running towards you at this point.
Wait, are they also goblins? What?
No, these are humans.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Crumpet and Squat are gonna join.
Actually, sorry, she is a half elf.
So he's a quarter elf.
So the way it works, if there's half elves and other half elves, is that your child could potentially be an elf as well.
Like a full elf?
Yeah, it's like a quarter chance elf, a quarter chance human, half chance half elf, or something like that. It's a bit messy. Or is it just that it's only half elf? I don't remember.
So
Anyway,
half elf and human.
half elf and human.
So this kid lost the genetic lottery. I see.
How old is the kid, or how old does the kid look?
He's 14. As the two goblins run up, like, I brought her. She's gonna help. She says it's good. And Crumpet is like, yeah, yes, I can help. Oh, Benjamin, are you going to help too? We could use your help digging the hole. Come on, let's go. And she grabs Benjamin's arm and starts to run off in a random direction. And Squawk goes, wait, Crumpet, we don't know where we're going yet. Oh, okay. Where are we going?
Given my great skill with maths, how long do I think it will take for us to dig a damn hole?
You're starting to think it's going to take longer than it should do if only one of you were doing it. Based on this group.
Alright, next person! Fuck it! I will recruit the entire Thorpe if I have to!
So Melissa goes and helps with or goes into the priest, and Lawrence, you see her come in, and she's bringing this basket. And Vera, you're there as well. This woman comes in. I brought some cloths for using to wrap the bodies.
Why, thank you. I don't think we've met. I'm Lawrence.
Melissa, it's nice to meet you. I own the farm with my husband and my son and daughter.
Which farm?
There's one just she kind of like points in the direction of there's wheat and cotton. You'll see it. It's on the way up to the forest.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly missed a lot while you were gone. But yes, thank you for this.
I wasn't gone.
Oh, wait, we didn't meet her yesterday, right?
You didn't meet her yesterday, no.
Oh, okay.
You haven't met anyone. You haven't met everyone necessarily.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. Well, thanks for this. And then I guess I'll ask the priest what he wants to do with it.
So he explains that you'll be able to wrap the body with it, and there's twine and all in there as well. So they're used as kind of, instead of having coffins, the bodies will just be wrapped in this cloth and buried.
I see. Okay. Is there a way it needs to be buried, like a specific? Wrapped, or is it just like?
Yeah, he'll take you through it. You just need to like you wrap it round twice, kind of thing. You hear her saying to the priest, like, "This is all the cloth I have available. I don't have anything left to make, unfortunately. So I can't give you any more." Oh no, that's fine. We've got everything we need here. Don't worry, Melissa. Thank you very much. We'll make sure that we get you fair price for this. No. This is I'm not selling this. This is for the families. It's very kind of you. And she leaves. So next up, you see coming down the road a short, stout creature with large glasses. Like they take up like third of her face. Of their face, sorry. And seems to have a hat on with a candle on it. small, almost dragon-ish looking creature. You've seen in books before pictures of kobolds. And it seems to be just kind of like complaining, walking up the road.
Wait, sorry, who sees her?
Niserie. Niserie sees.
Oh, okay.
Are kobolds particularly good diggers?
You can give me a nature check.
Mm. 19.
Some kobolds are indeed naturally good diggers. They quite often live in caves, and they're not great with sunlight because they live preferably underground. They do a lot of tunneling and building and stuff like that. This one seems to be like kind of hunched over and carrying a few pairs of shoes.
Good morning.
What?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, have a bit of a hearing problem. Like taps it head.
Do I know sign language? Fuck, I don't know kobold sign language.
I can hear you fine. Just gotta shout. But not shout so that we can't hear you in your Discord.
Right. So I guess while shouting, having a shouting match now. So early in the morning,
and you're surrounded by 2 goblins and a child.
Yep. Babysitting. I don't even look like I'm digging graves anymore. I'm just babysitting.
Yeah, Lawrence and Vera will be able to hear this.
What should be like? Are you also part of the Thorpe?
Yes. My name's Candle. Who are you?
We're part of the adventures from yesterday. My name's Niserie.
Nice to meet you, Siri.
Niserie!
It's not necessary, don't worry.
We're gonna try and build, we're gonna go up to the mountains. Let's see what he said.
It's up near the tree line. So you go up the hill a little bit to the west.
We're gonna go dig some holes for the bodies of the people that need a funeral. Can you help?
Okay, but don't destroy your shoes. I don't want to have to make lots more.
You the shoemaker?
That's me. I'm the cobbler.
All right. Nice to meet you, Candle the cobbler.
All right. It's nice to meet you too. Oh, do you need help?
Yeah, we're gonna go now. Can you help us?
I can help, but I've got a bad arm, but I can help.
The village.
Oh, man.
Alright, she's just gonna take what she gets at this point. She's like, fuck it.
Okay, let me just put these shoes at Tobias's for trade later.
Is that candle spelled with a C or a K?
With a C.
Okay. Is it Kendall or Candle?
Candle. They have a candle on their head as well.
Oh.
It's kind of like sitting on a little metal hat, like kind of half melted on it.
Is it lit?
It is not lit.
He's not lit. Got it. Which is good, because he needs to focus and dig some holes. So I guess after she drops off, or they drop off the shoes, she's just gonna round up everyone.
Yep.
And start heading for the tree lines.
Yep. Partway there, you do meet up with Birgitta. She is.
Oh, thank goodness! She accidentally bursts out.
She does, however, have what appears to be a few rabbits on on a piece of like string. This a cord. Like they're all like tied together on the end of a cord. And she sees you, this gaggle of random assorted people. Like, you're popular today.
We are all going to go up to the tree lines to help dig some graves for the deceased. Any insight you could provide us, especially for the company, so we can do a good job?
Yeah, I would say probably stay about 50 feet back because the roots of the trees grow pretty deep up close. Apart from that, good luck.
Would you like to help?
If you can give me an hour or so, I will. I just need to prepare these. Oh,
I'm sure we'll
Candle,
probably still be there.
I have some fur for you later, Candle. And she like holds up the rabbits. Oh, thanks, Birgitta. I can make good fluffy slippers with those. I bet you can. They'll be wonderful.
I'm sure we'll be where we are. If you would like to come an hour later, please join us.
Okay, I will see you there. You have tools, right?
I thought the priest would have provided them, no?
The priest definitely does not have like 5 shovels.
Alright, so we go find shovels.
You can look around and see no one has anything. Yes, if you go to Tobias's place and around the side, there'll be some shovels inside the thing, and I can give you one as well.
You would think that the farmers would have shovels.
Correct. The farmers would also have shovels.
Yep. That's what we're doing.
You go find the various areas, grab the various shovels, come all the way back, and start the actual digging.
Finally.
Yeah. How are you directing them? Like, specifically. You know there's 5 holes to be dug. What are you... How are you directing them?
Do I have any knowledge when it comes to grave placements?
You give me a history check. You've done administration work before. Oh wow.
27.
Very
Wow.
very usefully that you did actually have to do a little bit of layout stuff for a family gravesite for the fiefdom thing. They're looking at expanding, and you had to do some administration work in sorting out, you know, the best location and how much space you would need for future kind of stuff. And yeah, you know the best way of like burying them, though it's a little bit overkill what you would do because you're not going to be burying in like coffins or anything, and you're not putting in the massive grave markers that your lord would have had there, so you can shrink that down even a bit. So you think you got no real issue but figuring out what you need and how deep you need to go and stuff like that.
Sure. And I guess I'll use like whatever's around the area, whether that be like kind of like roughly outlining with my shovel or placing markers with twigs so that people know where and how wide and long to deep.
Yeah, you can get it all like marked out before so they're not going kind of crazy on it, though Walt will on occasion start digging and you'll have to like tell him to stop until you get the right place.
Yeah.
At which point when you actually direct him to a particular place, he goes crazy and really gets in there.
I think she'll spend most time supervising Walt as a result of after she lines everything out.
Candle seems to like take Walt's enthusiasm as a challenge and begins to go to the same kind of route of just like straight up digging with these claws that they have. The goblins then take that as a challenge to begin their own.
This is not a competition. The competition is whoever does it most nicely.
It doesn't matter whatever way you say it. It seems to be a ferocity competition between the 4 of them. the goblins seem to be working together, but then occasionally just break out in a fight and then start working together again. There's like this weird slapstick fight that kind of goes on between them.
Mm-hmm.
No actual real roughness, but it always seems that that Squat gets the lower kind of the rough end of the stick whenever the fight happens.
I mean, you do silly things for love.
Do you say that to them?
No, she just observes and like smiles to herself.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I don't think she actually ends up like digging anything. She might have marked it out in the beginning, but given how much supervising she has to do,
you'll notice Benjamin is very slow and not really reacting to anything that's going around, and just slowly starts digging in one of the spots that you've laid out.
I think Niserie is gonna go up to him and be like, "Is everything okay, Benjamin?"
He just like shrugs.
What?
Yeah. What kind of drugs?
Oh, he shrugs. He shrugs.
Oh, I heard drugs. I was like, how am I supposed to react to
that? He's high.
Right?
He reacts slowly because of the drugs.
No, he shrugs his shoulders.
Got it.
And kind of just like not really reacting too much to
it. She'll be like, you know it's okay to be sad, right?
Again,
especially if
shrugs again.
Especially if they were your friends.
When you say that, he kind of like just stops digging for a moment, and he says,
"Shrugs again.
It's not fair, you know."
Never is.
Like he didn't do nothing. Why? It's not fair.
What was his name?
Knock. He was the son and the family that they crushed his house. Like he was just inside, and they were all inside. They were also nice, and 1 minute they were.
We saved, right?
No. This is this is not the kid you saved.
No, the kid that we saved was Todd Ramsey.
Oh, right.
This is he's talking about the building that is crushed on the side of the village.
Was that the Smith's house?
Nope, that was partially damaged. But this is the one that was completely flattened. It just
was he your friend?
Yeah, we were friends.
Is he your best friend?
We're more than friends.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we were. He didn't really have any friends when he came here, but we got on. Well, he was here before, and then when my family came, he was nice, and you know he kind of looked after me a bit, and it just, we played lots of games and things. It was just, I really miss him, and it's just I don't. It's not fair. Like, why him? Why did he?
She'll put like a comforting hand on his shoulder, and then like in a very like soft tone, mention that the boy's name was Knock, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Like N-O-C-K?
Just N-O-K.
Okay. N-O-K.
Do you remember who were in that house? I think you were told last time.
It
was a family of hobgoblins.
Oh.
They were the blunt tooths.
Well, she'll point out, be like, well, I'm sure Not was very happy to have you as a friend. It's sad that he's not with us, but I find the best way to just remember them for how they were.
I was there when he died.
You were there?
I was calling for the priest to come. And no one came. And he was hurt when the house fell down. And he wasn't awake, but I know he was alive. He was still breathing, but no one came.
That must have been hard. Seeing your friend like that.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure he wouldn't want to see you upset, though. You had good times together, did you not?
We did. Yeah, there's one time we tried to go fishing, and we tried to we went to one of the shallower bits in the river, but Gregarious was there, and he was trying to show us the better way to do things, but we did it our own way. We caught more fish than he did, and he was so angry. It was really funny.
Yeah,
But,
you did better than a trident.
yeah, he was. It was funny, but you can't do that anymore.
So I want you to think about those. Maybe the one that you're digging is now for your friend Not. Think of all the times that you've shared together. That could be the happy, it could be the sad that you guys spent together. Maybe you guys fought at some point, but what lasted through it was your friendship, no?
Yeah, I guess.
Remember him fondly. And dig the best grave you can for him, so that when they finally lay his body to rest, you know that it will be a comfortable spot that you can always visit him, come back and visit him for.
Sure. Okay. You see, just quietly continues to dig.
Well, great pep talk, Niserie.
I was contemplating whether to get you a roll for it or not, but I think you did a good job. But like, you can't, you can't really make the kid happy,
No, of course not. And realistically, she's well aware of that too. I think as an elf, she's probably had to either bury friends in the past or like.
It's far worse for elves as well. It's a long
yeah.
life.
So I think she spoke a little in terms of her own experience in that as well. But the rest of them still need supervising.
Oh, for sure. They are definitely not somber and in any particular state of mourning.
So I guess she'll spend it trying to like nudge them into the right direction, whether that's like withholding Walt and be like, okay, now this area.
Yeah, I mean, this kid is slowly digging a grave, and it takes pretty much the whole day for him to dig that one grave and all them to dig all the other 4 graves. They go crazy at it and get in each other's way. Fights break out. At one point, the two goblins are fighting in a hole. And the corgi jumps in after them, thinking it's some sort of game.
When does Brigida come and save me?
Brigida comes after about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at it all and let me see. You notice her walk trying to back away.
Brigida.
You do notice it though. Her stealth is not high enough.
I call her out on it and be like, Brigida, thanks for coming over to help.
And she's like freezes and like, yep, no problem. Yeah, so the rest of the day, you guys do eventually get the graves done. Everyone is horribly dirty.
Mm-hmm. Constant precipitation, by the way.
On yourself? Yeah. That's okay. You're like just the entire day. Yeah. You can be a constitution saving throw if that's the case. You're gonna be tired.
How much effort does it cost to cast a cantrip though?
It's effort, right? It's like attacking every turn. If you're doing that for hours on end, like you're gonna get tired.
No, maybe like every hour or so, provided that it gets dirty enough for her to be like.
Yeah, if we're not talking about like every little spot, that's fine. I was thinking like every tiny little spot, like.
Oh no, she's not that OCD. It's just more of like a general like.
Yeah, that's fine. Quick clean up every so often. Yeah. So rest of the day, you guys are doing that. Lawrence and Vera, you guys are helping with the bodies. It like gets dark by the time your respective groups are finished with what you're doing, and you kind of are thanked for your work, and you head back to sleep. You know the funeral's going to be like kind of early in the morning, at the break of dawn. You want to do anything else?
Nope. Sleep so fast.
Yeah, it's been a busy day for everyone.
Also, drink your water.
Yeah, thanks for the swig.
I mean, if there's enough time for like a dinner, kind of like conversation, and they're not super tired, Niserie will share her experience babysitting a dog, 2 goblins, and a kobold trying to dig graves, but
there's certainly time that you guys you all need to eat and stuff anyway. You can all eat together.
I have no idea why you would need to babysit Walt. He's so responsible.
This area gets flashbacks of the point
he's very
where
enthusiastic.
One of the goblins is actually Crumpet is actually riding Walt into battle, almost inside one of the graves, which are not that big.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a playful moment where Walt is rolling over the other goblin.
Niserie will recount this over to Vera. This is what happened.
Vera looks over at Walt with like, almost like scolding him. And, how could you give Niserie so much trouble today? And Walt's, kind of looking all sad, playing up the puppy eyes.
Damn, JD is playing Jurassic Park harmonica.
Ouch. I really should have turned off the noise. Thanks, GD. I know it's so bad.
That's hilarious.
Sorry. Sorry, Silver. Sorry, what was Walt's reaction to you? Yeah, you can listen back on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she was scolding her puppy. How do you expect the corgi to listen if you're playing harmonica like that?
I love that there's even a way to hear what it sounds like before you redeem it. You just go and redeem it.
There's a way to listen to it first.
But, yeah. There's a preview thing. Thanks, GD. I appreciate it though. Oh, it's only like the first 3 seconds. It doesn't give you the harmonica part.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh no, it's atrocious. I love it so much though. So you're scolding. What does Walt like react to the scolding?
Oh, he feels very sad about, he's like a chastised child. He's very upset. Yes. You know, like when you scold a puppy, like when they know they did something they shouldn't have done. And they kind of like.
Does he fully understand though?
Yeah. Walt can understand me.
No, but does he fully understand, like, not what you're saying, but what was actually wrong, or does he like I don't think it was wrong kind of thing? But
no. Yeah, he doesn't feel bad about giving Niserie a hard time. He feels bad about being chastised about it.
Right. Damn it, Niserie. Poor doggo. He's just doing his best.
No, and she'll pat him and she'll be like, he tried his best. But next time, we do it properly, right, Walt? And then Niserie will slide him some food as bribery.
Oh. Yeah, he perks up.
Excellent. GD has a clip of ruining and stuff. Excellent. I'll have to listen back at that. Okay. So get through the evening. You bed down. You staying in the same places you had previously?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Or are you staying with anyone else, Lawrence?
I mean, he would probably be staying with his family if there's room. I mean, there's no reason not to, right?
Nope. Your family have been exploring the area a little bit. They've actually been talking to people in town, trying to just get to know the various ones in the village.
How is Todd, by the way, and his cat, his flying cat?
You haven't seen him today because you've been up the hill.
Did I see him during dinner? Was it like a communal dinner, or was it sort of like,
No, I think it'd just be you guys, maybe at Lawrence's place with his family, perhaps.
Okay.
Like the general like camp group that you guys were all together as.
Coming to the village, yeah. The Thorpe, sorry.
You can call it whatever. So you bed down for the night and sleep. Maybe you sleep well because you're tired, or it's a bit more difficult to get over just because of, especially with like Lawrence and Vera working with the bodies all day. Maybe Niserie is kind of exhausted from just having to deal with everything that was going on between melancholic child who's in mourning, as well as the goblins, kobold, and dog that were not.
Yeah, managing people is so exhausting.
Yep. And night goes by. You're each woken up before the sun rises, knowing that the funeral is to be at sunrise. You clean yourselves up, I assume, and make your way towards the gravesites. Is anyone doing anything in between or in preparation?
I guess. Is it custom in these lands to put flowers on graves?
It would be a custom among a number of different cultures, yeah.
Alright, then I guess she'll have her unseen servants go pick some flowers for her. And then
I miscounted the number of graves.
You said 5, right?
Yeah, I said 5. I'm trying. There's two elderly, 3 hobgoblins, and then there's also the blacksmith. I'm thinking there must be 6 or 7. I think I didn't count the 2 elderly at one point.
Oh. Okay.
We could just backwork that in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I miscounted.
Dex check.
Oh, this is a stretch.
I guess the are the bodies already at the gravesite, or would you know?
The bodies will be at the gravesite. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Actually, no, they won't be. There'll be a funeral procession where people will carry the bodies towards the gravesite.
I guess Lawrence would offer to help carry the body like the previous day.
So there'll be pairs of people carrying the bodies. You know,
okay.
Front and back kind of thing, kind of similar to a coffin. There's like already like things rigged up for people to carry them. They kind of like on boards on their shoulder, kind of thing that the bugbears have spent the last day making. So you're able to put like the body on it, and then it, like you've got it up on your front shoulder, and then someone else has got it behind them. Kind of like a single person coffin thing, and or for 3 people together, and it's a kind of quiet morning procession walking up the hill. The whole town's kind of gathered there. There's over a dozen people. There's a little bit of singing coming from Mary Baker, the daughter of the priest.
Priest's daughter. Yeah.
She's got a small, quiet voice in the background, kind of singing, and you can hear like tears through that, but it moves quietly. The bodies are laid down beside the graves initially, and the priest begins a bit of a kind of a sermon of the troubles that we go through in life, and unexpected things, and the unfairness and unjustness of what happened. But that the people here know that the people of Haven are out to make a kind of better life for themselves. And they completely threw me off again, GD, or whoever it was who did that. So thanks. Thank you anyway. The people here in Haven are like trying to build this new life for themselves, and they always knew there'd be risks, not these kind of risks, but they knew they would have to endure hardships, and that this is something that has to bring them more together as a people, have to really help them work together to get this little place up for themselves. And they lower the bodies one by one into the pits, into the graves, and Mary sings again as everyone kind of just stands around quietly, and some people hum along to the song. It's a relatively well-known kind of tune that you hear. You can hear it in taverns on quieter nights, but this is a slower kind of version of one. The words you kind of know as well, but in the context, they kind of mean different things here. And as this all occurs, you see some of the people crying, some of the ones you've met before. Even the goblins look quite stoic here. But the ones who stand out, the child, is Tressum kind of walking around with them. The young boy Benjamin, who's grieving for his friend. A dwarf you hadn't met previously, but seems to be in quite hard tears. Tobias begins lifting piles of dirt and putting them on top of one of the graves. You see others beginning to do the same things. And everyone kind of takes a bit of a hand in it and begins to bury the bodies. It takes probably half an hour or so of slow work. And at this point, Niserie, you would feel that this would be the time that you could lay down the flowers.
She does so.
You see others doing similar things. Not necessarily just for flowers, but small tokens, like little woodwork toys, little mementos. There's a pair of shoes on a couple of the graves. And everyone kind of stands and is quiet for a little bit of time before the priest again speaks. And he kind of just reaffirms now, kind of trying to bring up the mood a little bit away from like the complete somber occasion, trying to like break it away and said that, you know, come back to the shrine and we'll have some drinks and some snacks. And you know, we can begin the slow process of healing. And so you head back to the shrine, and he has these barrels out of beer. It's early morning, but you know, early morning beer for a time like this, not the worst. And there's bread and everything as well, some baked goods. And everyone just quietly eats. Is there anything that you want to do among the people during this time? Or anything you want to say in particular during the event?
Niserie would have searched out both Todd and Benjamin. Benjamin just to kind of give him that reassurance and comfort. And does she see Todd? Or is he out?
Yeah,
now?
He's here. The whole village is here still.
And then I guess like once she so I think she would have approached Benjamin first. Saying things like, you know, you did all that you could for him. And I'm sure your friend would have been happy that you're with him until the end.
You'll notice that the priest sees you talking to the boy and has this kind of guilt-ridden expression on his face. He like, turns around to do something else.
Does she notice?
You would notice it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the boy just nods quietly. Takes a small sip of the drink he has.
Yeah, and then I guess like she'll give his shoulder a quick squeeze. Make sure that he's well within the company of his parents before trying to find Todd.
And you find Todd kind of along one side, just patting the cat, the Tressum. He's seems to be in the company of I believe it is those farmers, the Moors. Didn't film anyone else, did I? Yeah, he's in the company of the Moors at the minute, Melissa and her husband, but they've given him a little bit of distance. He's quietly kind of, it is his kind of adopted grandparents as such who were looking after him.
Okay.
Sorry, is it Melissa? Like Melissa Benjamin? Or
Melissa's Benjamin's mother.
yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like you can see whenever you walk over to the kid, that she's watching after him. Like, she's nearby, but not right beside him. But she like occasionally looks over to make sure he's okay. I got the right person here. We're talking about the kid who was rescued, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, who's he gonna stay with now?
I guess that would be what Niserie tries to figure out. So she'll approach him and be like, "Good morning.
Oh, hi.
How are you feeling?"
Not great.
Yeah. From were you close to those who left?
Didn't know each other for that long. Yeah. They were nice people.
Have you been sleeping well?
No, not much. I felt like I was getting thrown around in a bag.
Yeah. That I can see that happening. Bonnie keeping you company?
Yeah, Bonnie's nice.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, not really.
Well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here to listen. Doesn't have to be now. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. Whenever you're ready.
Just nods.
I guess with Todd, she'll take a little more of a lean back approach.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, or at least it sounds like he's not really willing to talk. So she would wait for him to talk to her. I mean, yeah. And then realistically, but still stick by his side and just be like, to show, hey, I'm here if you need me. Sort of thing.
Yeah. Are you physically staying there, or are you
yeah, physically stay there until it is no longer socially deemed acceptable to do so.
Yeah, after a few minutes, he kind of actually just tilts his head and puts it on your arm. Just like leans up against you with his head.
I think Niserie would like stiffen at first, not expecting the contact, but then she'll try to like force herself to relax. And then
he doesn't like put his arm around you or anything. He just like leans up against you, like human contact.
Yeah.
You know, but like almost the bare minimum.
That's fair. I think she wouldn't have. I think at that point she'll have the unseen servant give her another flower, and then she would pass that to Todd.
Okay. You pass this flower from this invisible servant across the
Well, like the unseen servant to Niserie and then Niserie to talk.
Yeah. I know. So he get your servant gives it to you, and you pass the flower to him, and he just looks at it. Thanks.
Welcome.
He just like holds it in his hand when he's got his head kind of on your shoulder. He just sits there quietly, like kind of like spins the flower a little bit from the stem on his fingers, just like spins it in circles.
Yeah.
And like at this point in the morning, like the sun's up and there's some clouds in the sky, a decent amount of cloud cover. But the sun kind of like shines through. It's like light amounts of cloud. Is anyone else doing anything?
No?
No.
Vera's very out of her element here. She's never seen so many people look so sad.
Oh.
Like there's there's like a bit of a shadow kind of just coming over. The sun kind of like hits behind a thicker kind of amount of clouds. And you notice the people, at this point they've gotten a little bit more more alive seeming. It's not a party. No one thinks of it as a party, but they have become a little bit more chatty. As kind of like the ways of after funerals are. This has been a more devastating scenario than really anything, but there is quiet chatter among people. Just kind of usual topics of conversation come up. There's some things you hear about them wanting to put trade together, especially between towns. People are discussing it with Tobias quietly, and he says that there'll be a town meeting tomorrow to discuss it fully and how to progress with it, because it seems that that's what's going to have to happen. What else to do from here, because Heaven needs to be better in order to accommodate the people well. And this shadow gets kind of like darker over the town. Literal shadow, kind of darker over the town. And you see people starting to look up into the sky. It's like looking at it, like their hands up, like the sun kind of like in their eyes, but you see this strange flat shape in the clouds itself, just sitting kind of high up in the air as something drops down from the sky slowly. And this large figure seems to be falling from the sky at a relatively slow rate. And everyone's starting to look up and pointing in a little bit of alarm, but in confusion. And you see it coming closer, hundreds of feet away.
What is it?
It seems to be a very large person. Tall, blue skin, wearing a white mask, like a kind of clay ceramic mask with a smiling face on it. And this huge person, as they come closer, seems, in fact, very huge. And they've got their hands up in the air. And they're like, "Please, everyone, I come bringing friendship." As this giant lands on the ground within the village, not beside any people, but there, and everyone's like talking and chattering and moving back, and people are starting to move away. Like, "Please, I bring friendship for you."
Do I know what that is?
And I think we're going to leave it here tonight. As a
ominous.
20 foot tall giant brings friendship into Haven.
Oh god, no!
Either a good thing or a very bad thing.
Exactly.
Is it as big as the giant that we fought against? Or
It's
bigger?
it's a bit bigger.
Mm.
It's maybe 5-6 feet bigger, taller, like a full person standing on its head taller.
Oh dear.
Well, he brings friendship, so that's good.
Friendship.
Right, you go be his friend. You're the most.
Sorry,
you know,
GD. It's after 11. Gotta end these things on a cliffhanger. That's what Hollywood taught me. That's how it works.
This is ominous.
Well, he says he brings friendship, so that's gotta be a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Peace.
Nothing I ever say is ever the opposite of that in any of my campaigns ever. So
He feels like you say he's a giant, but he feels like a goblin.
No. He is a giant. Thankfully.
Why do you say he feels like a goblin?
He's got big goblin energy.
Oh dear.
Damn it. Thanks, dude. GD. That's some great Jurassic Park in there. Yeah, I love that sound alert. Yeah, he has big energy, for sure. Yes, it was used properly. Yeah, not necessarily goblin energy, but it is big, some sort of energy, and it's got a big ceramic, face kind of mask. I don't know how to describe those masks. They're like a big ceramic white ones that you use them in like theaters.
Oh,
like that kind of stuff.
Kabuki masks.
Yes, exactly. It's this smiling face with these big kind of like eyebrow holes and like kind of like tall like vertical eye slits.
Dang.
It looks like a super happy mask.
This makes me think of the what do they call them? The big hollows in Bleach.
Yeah. It's like that kind of mask, but happy looking. And he's that kind of size, like 22, 25 feet tall kind of thing.
Can you trust it?
Almost definitely. It brings friendship.
Oh god.
If it's aggressive, it sounds like there's no reason for it to try to be sneaky unless
if you're stuck, you get a dozen goblins standing on top of each other's heads and it'll reach the top of them.
Oh god.
He also fell from the sky very slowly.
Oh.
And you can see up in the sky there's this almost strange structure, like a stone kind of bottom structure thing. Kind of rounded. Sitting up there in the clouds a mile up.
I feel like this is like Armageddon thing.
Just sitting there. It's not moving.
Interesting.
Us.
So that's where we're gonna leave it. So the little Thorpe of Haven are talking about how they're gonna progress, and we have got the trade route stuff unlocked. The quest is unlocked there, but I haven't given it to you guys yet because you haven't discussed with them. But it's there. So for this week's weekly redeem stuff, need two options to put in each channel. So then people can choose between the two, as opposed to each channel having its own individual one.
Why not do the Thorpe Watch and the reinforced structures?
Yeah,
I would like to build a bridge.
Oh,
Given up on
okay.
Thorpe Watch.
Bridge is a
They
good
don't
idea.
need watching.
Okay.
They don't need watching. Oh, all right. Yeah, screw.
Bridge is bridge is a good option. What will be the second one?
Sorry, is that a question for me or?
Oh, in general, you guys, as all three of you, get to decide 2 different things to put on all the channels together.
What are we gonna do with the points that we have earned previously?
GD
Are we gonna roll
requested
that
pub.
over to?
No.
Yes.
I think we give it 2 weeks and we didn't get enough redeemed into them, so it would be basically because we're changing the way we're doing it, we'll start it up again from scratch.
Okay.
But every channel will be able to redeem between one of the 2 options or both the options. The priest makes alcohol. There's plenty of alcohol with the priest.
It's true. He serves
Yeah,
wine,
he's also
right?
touching dead bodies, right?
Beer.
He washes them hands as well. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your second option? Get a bridge. I know we're talking about a bridge going across,
in and out, but
like across this side of the river,
Yeah.
like right here, like so basically directly across from where the buildings are.
Oh wait, let me zoom out. Yeah, basically like in this area. Oh, why is it not pinging? Like a bridge right here. That seems like a good
just
spot
down there?
for a bridge.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice in the middle of the town. Oh, or should we do it a little bit further away so people can't cross the bridge and attack us?
I mean, they still can. We just won't be able to see them.
So yeah,
That's true.
it'd be kind of you'd have the town there. You'd have to walk. The problem is you have to walk all the way around for doing anything in between buildings. Comes down to like, do you want it as fully on defensive kind of stuff? And as Bill said, they can still attack you. It just take them a little bit longer to get there. Or do you want to join it so you got twice as much space for the town? You can
I
spread out both
say
sides.
we look for another corgi, a female corgi, and breed an army of attack corgis to defend the town.
Whoa.
GG's given options there for pub or storage.
That's
or food.
unethical.
Why is
I'm not gonna
unethical?
run a puppy mill.
It's not a puppy mill. It's for us to build
A
defenses.
dog fighting ring.
It's not for them to fight each other. It's to defend the town with a corgi army.
Send the
elite corgi squad. GB
send
approves.
the corgis to their death against ogres and stuff.
No, they will not die. They will
Sure.
fight.
Sure.
We can clone them. Build an army of clone corgis.
So what's your second option here? Need you guys to be in a kind of relative agreement of something.
I mean, what does the town seem to need? It's got a farm. It's got like chicken.
So you still have
chicken coop.
You can still do defenses as well, like a wall and everything. But remember, this isn't. It gets built. It gets considered heavily where the town is going to start trying to do it, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm just wondering what the town needs. What does the town seem to need? Does it lack in any kind of resources?
It's got very little stuff at the minute. So the trade is going to help with that.
Is there enough food for everyone?
There seems to be enough food for everyone right now, but it's very basic. It's like wheat and chickens and eggs, kind of stuff.
Okay. Maybe we can build a mill.
There is actually a mill.
There is a mill.
I haven't mentioned it or shown it at all.
Oh.
You know what? So we'll say there isn't a mill because I haven't mentioned it at all once. I just wrote it down and then never shown it because I forgot to put it in the thing. But a mill for making the flour easier would be good because currently they're grinding it by hand with a grindstone.
Yes, I think a mill would be helpful.
Duck farm. A chief, a mayor, walls, a sheriff, storage, a pub, a bank, magical corgis, paladin corgis. GD has all the ideas.
Maybe we need a mine so we can, get more metal.
Yep. You do have a dwarf who's been moving around and getting some ores, but it's been mostly things from like the river and stuff, which you'll find out when you discuss stuff with him. Like he basically goes to any open veins, and they're mostly around the river because the water kind of like washes, breaks down the rock and stuff. But there is iron in the hills.
Yes. So maybe we need a mine so that we can bring more ore, and we can start building weapons and things like that to defend to help the villagers at least defend the town, and also help them build more tools to expand like the services of the village, like more tools for farming and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you're saying mine, Vera, you're saying bridge, Niserie. Any other options? Isabel.
Hello. Maybe she went to the washroom or something.
Without saying? How rude.
Yeah. Maybe she had a cat emergency.
Rip.
Well, anyways, yeah, maybe we can go with those two. If no one else is suggesting anything.
Yep, if no one else is suggesting anything. I'm thinking because it'll be
Or
across
close.
3 channels, I'd say 30,000 points this time. I know it probably won't all get redeemed in 1 week, but that's basically splits at 10,000 per channel as opposed to 20,000 for 1 channel, right? If you were averaging it out, right? But
well, that's assuming everyone votes for the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think 30,000 is a good number for it. You can't get your stuff back, GG, unfortunately. No carry over the points. If it doesn't get fulfilled, it doesn't get fulfilled.
Yes, just save it until you have enough points, and then use it or something. I don't know.
We should probably cap it per person per stream as well, so someone can't just redeem 20,000 points at once.
Why not?
Well, we want people redeeming points across the period of time as well, not just like saving up so they can straight up buy out one thing. Like a good whack in one is fine. Like 10,000 points, I think at once is fine, but 30,000 is kind of defeats the purpose for community.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure how you would cap it, except you would just say, "I will not honor this redeem" or whatever.
Well,
I guess you can reject it.
I thought there was a way to cap it, no? Like per person?
If you do a
Or is
community
it just
challenge,
a number of? Maybe it's just a number of ones.
Yeah, if you do a community challenge, you can have like a goal, but that's per channel, like a goal per channel, not shared across channels.
Limit
I
redemptions
think.
per stream. Yeah, limit redemptions per user per stream. Just max it at 10.
Okay.
Yeah, just put a max limit redemptions per user per stream as 10, and then they can only redeem up to 10,000 per stream.
I don't think I've had that problem. No one's
I
ever
mean,
redeemed more than like
we're only
3 in a single.
We're only starting it though, really. So, yeah, I think 10,000 per person per stream is more than enough of a giving people lots of wiggle room for redeeming lots. Okay, so I guess we'll go for, since Isabel has disappeared and has died on us. You're no giving points back. I've already said it's not carrying over. So yeah, we'll go for the bridge, and we'll go for the as one option, and then we'll go for the a mine, an iron mine.
Yeah, that's just a suggestion.
Is there a mineable area nearby?
There is, yeah. If you zoom out on the map.
Oh, I see. That hill?
The up in the northwest.
Northwest. Oh yeah, okay, I see.
So see where there's like lots of rock areas up there?
Yeah.
Up in the top northwest, all the way up there. And then there's some hills as well. There's also open kind of iron veins along the river. But you could actually build a mine up in that area. Oh, you're washing dishes, Isabel. I see. Isabel says, let's go with those options that Silver and Bill choose. She wants to wash dishes. You can still hear us. I see. Okay, so a dishwasher is what Isabel wants to vote for. Right, so we got the iron mine and the bridge.